Hi students, and welcome to today's live Ielts class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a super start to their week. Welcome Marjona, hi Bilal, good to see many of our regular students. Welcome Khyber Mal, good to see our members as well. Students, in this class we are looking at Ielts speaking. Specifically, we're looking at Ielts speaking part 1, and I'm looking to give you some help to get that perfect Band 9 score. It is not impossible. You do not have to be a native speaker. You do not have to have perfect English, but you do have to have expert communication in English, and I'm going to tell you how to do that today, how to move from that Band 6 to that Band 7, how to move from that Band 7 to 7.5 or 8. Welcome Carolina, our moderator. It's good to have you helping us out in the chat, making sure that we stay focused and productive. Excellent. Students, this class is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic Ielts success, check us out there. For the general Ielts, please visit us at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have tons and tons of materials to help you with your speaking as well as other parts of the Ielts exam. Our websites look like this. This is our academic Ielts website here. We're going to be using this today for the speaking as well. I will be calling some of our viewers to practice and give band scores and feedback to help everybody learn. So this is our academic Ielts website here. You can click that big red button just beside my head to join the premium package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and you can use this code R4TYJ just right above my head there again, to get a 20% discount off that premium package. And again, it's worth it because it's a one-time payment for lifetime access and it doesn't cost very much anyway. And if you're looking for the general Ielts, we have a separate website for that. It makes sense. We have separate apps for these as well. This is our general Ielts website here with the green background. You just click, again, this big red button to join our premium package there. Prachi, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Hi, Shakli. Welcome to the class. Good to see so many students already here and ready to learn. That's fantastic. That is your first step to getting a high band score on your Ielts exam, is just making sure to put in the time to practice. Students, you can get our apps, Academic Ielts Help, and General Ielts Help from your app stores. The apps will link to the websites. And you can also follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTS Help, where we have vocabulary, daily tips, and much more. And if you have questions, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, and we'll get back to you as quickly as possible, usually within 24 hours. Welcome, Laura. Hi, Husna. Welcome to our members again. So students, we've got a full schedule this week. So we have classes today, tomorrow, on Christmas Eve or day of Christmas as well, which is exciting. I'm happy to be with you this Christmas. And then you can get this, or you can see this the schedule on Instagram as well as on our YouTube community post. So definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can follow all these great live classes. Okay, everyone, so let's get into Ielts speaking part 1. Now, this is speaking, everyone, so make sure to speak and repeat, okay? So copy, copy, copy. Copying is not the only way, or I don't think it's the only way you should be improving your English, but it is a good way to improve your pronunciation, your fluency, and some other factors of speech like diction. So make sure to copy as much as possible. I speak with a West Coast North American style of English. It's kind of like the Hollywood English, if you will. That's of course because this is where Hollywood comes from the West Coast, from Los Angeles and up along the West Coast here. So welcome Purple Sky. Hi Rumi. Hi Aman. Thank you for the feedback there. That's great. So we get into our speaking. The speaking is about 12 minutes. It's 3 parts. Okay, and you must show your highest level of English. It's not a chit chat. Okay, this is not a simple chit chat. Okay, you must prove your best English. Right, that's what you have to do. And in order to do that, you have to speak in full sentences. Okay, from the very, very start. So speak in full sentences from the start. Okay, and always practice that. Okay, get to your Ielts exam early. Practice with other candidates. It's very, very important. Okay, so arrive 1 hour early to your speaking exam and practice speaking with other candidates. All right, it's very important. Take some speaking questions with you. All right. These tips, students, can be the difference of an entire band score. And I strongly believe that. So I strongly believe that a student who goes to their exam 1 hour before and actually practices speaking like we're going to do today with other candidates can get 1 band score more than if they just go into the exam cold turkey. It means without any practice. Okay? All right. Okay, everyone, so you go in to your exam. You have to register 20 minutes before it starts, all right? And there are still, of course, COVID measures in place, so there's quite a bit of a process. You have to put all of your jacket and everything into a plastic bag, and you have to get your picture taken. They make sure that you're not wearing a watch or anything like that. They'll check your ID. So it's a bit of a process. And then you wait your turn. Your turn comes, and then you go to a private room. In that room, there will be an examiner waiting for you. The examiner will be a professional individual who is highly trained to evaluate your speaking. They are not your friend. They are not your enemy. They are there to do a job, and to them, you are simply a candidate number. Okay, you're not, you know, John or Sarah, and they're there to do a job, and you're there to do a job. That's really important to remember that, okay? All right. Well, good luck, Arda, on your high school exams. I just saw a couple of people saying good luck. So, okay, so you get called in to your Ielts speaking interview, and that person will very firstly ask you, may I see your identification? This is the first question because if you lost your ID between that time and registration, you won't be able to attend the exam. So make sure you don't lose your ID on your way to the exam room, which shouldn't happen. You should even have it ready. I mean, if you have it in your pocket, that's fine, but you can even have it in your hand and just place it on the table as you walk in. And the first question will be, may I see your identification? This question you have to answer in a full sentence, okay? If by some chance the examiner asks you how you're doing first, if they're like, how are you, right? Sometimes they might ask you that, and then you can say, I'm feeling great, thank you. How about yourself? So it's okay to ask them how they're doing as well, okay? They are human, they're not a robot, all right? But then they will ask you, may I see your identification? And you have to give a nice full sentence for this. Practice saying this in different ways before the exam. Do not make mistakes with the introductory questions. It sounds really, really bad. Okay? All right? So I'll give you a nice full sentence answer for this one, and then we'll compare, okay? Here we go. So, yes, gladly. Here is my passport with my credentials. I used this for registration. Please take a look. Okay, so lots of different ways to say this. Just say it fluently, right? So again, repeat after me. May I see your identification? Yes, gladly. Here's my passport with my credentials. I use this for registration. Please take a look. All right. Lena says, yes, gladly. Here's my passport, which I used for registration 2 weeks ago. Please have a look. Very good, Lena. Okay, very nice job. All right. And then the very next question while they're looking at your passport is, what is your full name? Okay, again, be nice and fluent here. So don't just go, I'm Sarah McKenzie. Okay, that's too short, all right? Avoid awkward short phrases, okay? Saeed's asking, what if the speaking part is via Zoom? Will they still ask for your passport? Yeah, Saeed, good question. Yeah, they do, I believe. Things are always changing, but they did, for sure. So you show your passport into the camera, and they still check it, okay? Even with that, yeah, even with Zoom, right? All right, Nature Lover says, well, as my introduction is concerned, I'm Sabine Subedi. Sabine is my first name, whereas Subedi is my family name. People call me Sabine. Okay, Nature Lover, or Sabine, I should say, that's a bit too long and it's unnatural. So this is what Sabine is answering. And students, you have to find the right balance. So you can't overspeak, you can't underspeak. It has to be natural. So let me show you what I mean, okay? So Sabine says, well, as my introduction is concerned, this is awkward English. So you wouldn't hear this from a native speaker. So don't introduce yourself with this kind of a leading expression. It's really wordy, it's awkward. Okay, so I am Sabine Subedi. Okay, Sabine is my first name, whereas Subedi is my family name. That's fine. And then here, people call me Sabine. Again, this is a bit unnatural because it's like, okay, people call you that, so I guess that's what you want me to call you. Okay, a very, very important tip during your IELTS speaking, students, to get those high band scores is do not force the examiner to assume or infer what you are thinking, okay? So do not force the examiner to guess what you mean or what you intend to say. Like, you expect me to call you Sabine, okay? Instead, always just state it directly, right? Okay, always. So here, instead of people call me Sabine, just simply say, please call me Sabine, okay? So again, repeat after me. What is your full name? I'm Sabine Subedi. Sabine is my first name, whereas Subedi is my family name. Please call me Sabine. I would probably make it a bit more natural by saying, please call me by my given name. Sabine. Given name is a way to paraphrase first name, okay? So this is just as fluent. It's much more natural. It's much clearer. It's more direct, okay? Use direct information on your IELTS speaking and in your IELTS writing as well. Okay. All right, so then the examiner will say, okay, Sabine, for part 1, I will ask you some questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. What do you like doing in your free time? All right, so what do you like doing in your free time? Now, you want to use a couple of different techniques here when you're answering questions like this. And I'll be looking for your answers. Number 1, use the question in your answer. Okay, so you want to say something like, well, in my free time, I like to. Okay, so I'm using the question in my answer to give myself fluency. This is very important, especially at the beginning. Okay. And then number 2, you want to paraphrase. For coherence and lexical resource. Okay. So, well, in my spare time, I enjoy. Okay, so here I'm still reflecting the question, but I'm also paraphrasing, so I'm getting a much, much better score. All right, so again, the question is, what do you like to do? What do you like doing in your free time? And notice how the grammar is ing, so it's progressive. Okay, pay careful attention to that. So you should use ing in your answer as well. Okay, so Kyber says, I love to play cricket or games in my leisure time just because it keeps me relaxed. Yesterday, when I'd finished the revision of some tips for this exam, I played 8-ball pool for 2 hours. Okay, good, Kyber. So, Kyber, if you want to take it one step further, reflect the continuous or the progressive grammar. So, I love playing cricket in my leisure time just because it helps keep me relaxed. Yesterday, when I had finished the revision of the tips, I was playing 8-ball pool for 2 hours with some friends. Okay, so you can use that continuous form to reflect it even more. Okay. Saeed says, well, in my leisure time, I usually go for a walk with my dog. I can easily spend an hour doing so. Additionally, I love hanging out with my buddies or playing some video games. Saeed, make sure you have parallel grammar. So if your verb is hanging out with buddies, then make sure the second verb play is playing video games. Anton says, well, in order to unwind, I enjoy playing the guitar. If I don't have the guitar nearby, I occasionally cram English. All right, so this is the answer from Anton. Okay, so Anton says, well, in order to unwind, this is a nice expression here. Notice how there's no myself. You should never say unwind myself. Okay, that's really awkward. It means that you're all like twisted up and you're like spinning yourself. That's really weird. We just say to unwind. Okay, don't say myself. That's a common mistake that many students make. So, well, in order to unwind, I enjoy playing the guitar. Nice use of the ing. The examiner's noticing this, okay? Good paraphrasing. If I don't have the guitar, I love the conditional here, showing me some grammar complexity, okay? Nearby, it's nice. So if I don't have the guitar nearby, I occasionally cram English. Of course, it was the latter that I did yesterday and today for this exam. Okay, so this is the only part, Anton, that I kind of feel is missing is the example. So again, answer, explanation, and example. Don't forget the example, okay? So that's what you're always focusing on, is answer plus explain plus example. Somebody was asking a little bit earlier in the chat, how many sentences should I answer for IELTS speaking? It's not sentences, but it's content. So it could be one big sentence, it could be 2 sentences, it could be 4 sentences. What's important is that you have an answer, explanation, and an example. You're roughly speaking for like, I don't know, 15 seconds for each answer, okay? All right, so that's what you want to include. Okay, next question here, right? Answer this one, we'll do this one together, and then I'm going to do some calling for everybody. Okay, so next question here is, where do you go to relax? All right, give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. So, where do you go to relax? I'll give an answer of my own and then we'll compare, okay? All right, so there is my answer. Baljeet, thank you for that super chat donation. That's awesome. I'm really glad you're back in our class. That's fantastic. Okay, so where do you go to relax? This is the question here. Here's my answer. In order to get a bit of R&R, I like to go for walks along the beach or to the park nearby my home. In this way, I can get some fresh air and I can be alone with my thoughts. In fact, I did this yesterday evening when I felt a bit stressed about this test. Okay, R&R, by the way, it means rest and relaxation. So R and R equals rest and relaxation. Right? It's an expression. We use it quite often in English. R&R, Mian is asking, what is R&R? Yeah, it's rest and relaxation. So in order to get a bit of R&R, okay? All right, so I'm going to be teaching you vocabulary in the class, of course, as well, integrated with the lesson. When you catch something like this, make sure to remember it, practice it, write it down. Okay. All right. Lena says, when I have a chance to unwind, I just go outside. Usually I'm walking in the park, which is not far from my home. Today I had a 30-minute walk before the exam, and it helped me to relax. Lena, very good. It's kind of similar to what I just wrote. Anir Bond says, since I'm an avid reader, the library is my #1 go-to place during my leisure time. In fact, just yesterday I visited the National Library. Anir Bond, very nice. That works. Absolutely. Bandita Nayak says, well, I go to the nearby shopping mall for relaxation from my busy schedule, as it gives me a sense of happiness to continue my work further in a productive way. Like yesterday, I visited the mall. It's just 200 meters from my house. Bandita, be careful with your information. You've got a few mistakes there. Get relaxed is awkward grammar. As it gives should be joined with the previous sentence. And careful, it's not 200 miles away, it's 200 meters away. Okay? All right, so pay attention to detail. Students, so now I'm going to call some of you. I'm going to talk to some of you. And we're going to practice together, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do this. I will call some of our viewers and ask you a question for part 1 IELTS speaking. I will give you a band score estimate, then I will tell you what you can do to improve. In order to volunteer for the speaking, follow these steps. Number 1, you have to register for a free or paid account at aehelp.com. Again, that's the website I was showing you at the beginning of the class with the blue background, okay? So you can click this green button or the red button to register. The green button, you can try it for free. The red button, it's the premium version, of course. And then you have this My Student account that's way up above at the very top. And you click on that My Student account after you've registered. Now, when you're in your My Student account, you have your computer-based practice exams, you have a ton of lesson videos in HD, and then off to the right, if you're on a computer, you have this Student Partner Speaking. That's the blue button. That's what we're using today. And if you want to book a full IELTS speaking interview practice with me with feedback, then it's this yellow button, the speaking interview practice, okay? So, but today we're using the Student Partner Speaking. So you click on this Student Partner Speaking, and then you click on the I accept, start speaking. Again, by clicking I accept, you confirm that you've read the agreement for fair usage and that you are at least 18 years of age. Basically, this means that you're going to use this service and speak nicely, okay, with other people. All right, and then when you click on that, you'll be in the chat interface. Lots of people are using this. Make sure to keep your window open. The first time you open this, your browser is going to ask you to enable your microphone and your speaker, okay, for the website. So it's very, very important that you enable your microphone and your speaker in your browser, okay? I think that's what a lot of students are missing as an important step. So enable your microphone, your speaker, and then once you have that, then you can send me a message by clicking this blue envelope. So you see how you can text, you can video, and you can audio. We're going to be doing audio chats only today, and you can send me a volunteer request by clicking this blue envelope. I see we have our member Me in here, so I'm going to actually reach out to Me and see if I can get Me to volunteer for the first question, just to see if I can have Me's assistance here to help me. So hi Me, would you like to volunteer for a question? By the way, students, please make sure that you're not using this while you're driving or doing something else that can be dangerous if you're using a chat software, okay? So only do this if you are safe to do so, all right? Okay, I think Me just left from what I can see, so Me's no longer here. It's too bad, Me. I was looking for some assistance there. Okay, no worries. So, so anyway, that's how you do it. Here we have Unkit. Maybe Unkit is volunteering. Okay, so Unkit says, "Hi, Sensei. Please call me." Okay, so a little bit of Japanese in there with Sensei. Sure. Okay, so let's try Unkit. So, are you ready? Okay, so I'm going to call Unkit. And ask a question. Let's see if Unkit is available. Okay, and of course I need my headset for this. Okay, here we go.
Hello.
Hello, Unkit.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, Unkit. How about you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Hmm.
All right, Ankit. Thank you for being my very, very first volunteer this week.
It's kind of like a pleasure.
Okay, awesome. All right, Ankit. So I'm going to ask you an IELTS speaking part one question, just the
Hmm.
same like in the real IELTS exam. And of
Hmm.
course, for some students, it's very, very similar because they're using the computer format for the speaking more and more often these days because of the pandemic. So it's like this through the computer.
Hmm.
Now, a lot of students might not know this, but when you're doing speaking through the computer like this, you still have to actually go to the exam center and they give you a computer to use, so you don't actually use your home computer.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Ankit, very good. So let me just hop back to my questions here
Hmm.
and then we'll begin.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Uh, let's talk about your home. Can you describe your flat or house?
Okay. So I'm from India, and I'm from the north part of the India. It's basically into the very northern part that is called the Himalaya range, and I'm from the middle Himalaya. My house is in the cliff, and it have a view that contain a lot of horizon stuff. Um, my house contain 5 rooms, including one kitchen, storeroom, bedroom, and one master bedroom. Um, all the rooms are basically used by my family, and that's kind of like a good place to be live in. Um, it have a lot many wooden architecture into it. Have a lot many kind of like sculptures and all that stuff. It contain a lot many uh, aged stuff into the house. So it's
Okay.
altogether an ancient house.
And what is your favorite room? Okay, we'll
Oh,
stop there.
my
We'll stop
bedroom.
there. Yeah, all right, we'll stop there. I'm just kind of, I had to kind of start interrupting you with the next question because you're just going, which is okay. So for this kind of question, can you describe your flat or house? The examiner will give you a little bit of extra time to finish what you're saying because it's one of those questions that requires time, right? Like it takes a few sentences for a person to describe their home or their house. So um, the amount of time, and I haven't talked to students too much about this, but the amount of time that you have to answer a question also depends on the question. So if I ask you what is your full name, of course that's a short answer because you're just saying, my full name is Ankit Shima, and please just call me Ankit, right? So that's a short answer. But when somebody asks you to describe your flat or house, it takes a bit more time, right, to describe it accurately. However, you still need to stay on topic a bit more. So your response would actually get like a band 7 to 7.5. And I want to give you more, like I want to give you a band 8 or an 8.5 even, because I think you actually have very fluent, very good English.
Hmm.
However, you're losing marks for two main reasons. Okay, so there's two big
Okay.
reasons why you're dropping your score. One
Hmm.
is your content. You're not being accurate enough with your content. So you said,
Yeah.
okay, so this is how I said, can you describe your flat or house? This isn't the same question of like, as where do you live? If I ask you, where do you live? And then you say, okay, so I'm from India, that's a good start. But
Hmm.
this is not that question. This is, can you describe your flat or house? So here we're really specifically targeting just your house, right? So starting by saying,
Okay.
okay, so I'm from India, I'm from the north part of India. It's basically in the Himalayan range. That whole part is off topic. And I think your examiner would kind of start getting like in their head, they won't show it, but they'll kind of start getting stressed. Like, why are they talking about India and the Himalayas? Why aren't they talking about their
Hmm.
house, right? So you really want to start here with
Okay.
my house, okay?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and if you want to mention that it's in the Himalayan range, because that gives the person an idea of the land and the view from your home, then you should
Hmm.
say, my house is located
Hmm.
in the lower Himalayan range.
Okay.
Okay, um, overlooking a cliff. Okay,
Yeah.
and it has a beautiful view.
Okay.
Okay, we generally don't say it contains. A house doesn't contain the rooms, it has the rooms. So
Okay.
it has 5 rooms. And then you did a really good job of naming the rooms. You're actually so fast I wasn't able to write it down. So you said it has a bedroom, a living room, 3 bedrooms,
Mm-hmm.
including a master bedroom. Those are a really nice description, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This statement here again, all of the rooms are used by my family. Again, it's a bit awkward. It's kind of like, okay, I get it, but why, like, why tell me that? It's not completely off, but it's still, so you always want to choose the best information. So
Exactly.
here I would have said something like, it's a 1-story house. With a nice big garden.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the house is 150 square meters, and the garden is half an acre.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just really
Yep.
specific to the house. Now, then you said it's wooden architecture, which is good. Right? What is the house made of? Right? Is it concrete, brick, wood? So that was good. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a lot of wooden architecture put into it. And I would say something like, and it was built in 1998. Okay, so again, a little bit
Okay.
more there. And then I would just stop. So that would be a much more accurate response. So the 2 ways for you to make your score a lot better: 1, be
Mm-hmm.
more accurate with the information, and number 2, be careful
Mm-hmm.
with those awkward little grammar mistakes or nuance mistakes, okay? You have a
Yeah.
few of
Yeah.
these small little mistakes that kind of just keep kind of poking your score. None of them are like a
Mm-hmm.
big punch, okay? So none of them are like, boom, I don't know what you're saying, but they're all just little tiny mistakes, and they're just kind of like poke,
Mm-hmm.
poke, 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 poke. So these are what's
Exactly.
called fossilized mistakes, okay? I'm going to teach everybody an important term here in English teaching. It's called a fossilized mistake. Okay, these are small mistakes that become a part of a person's speaking, but are unnatural. Okay, so you have to get rid
Mm-hmm.
of these little fossilized mistakes in your speaking when you want to go from like a band 7 to a band 8, band 9. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
and the way to do that is record your speaking, catch it, and then keep correcting it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to read the question one more time, the answer, and then repeat after me, okay? So,
Okay.
can you describe your flat or house? My house is located in the lower Himalayan range overlooking a cliff. It has a beautiful view. It has 5 rooms, living room, kitchen, of course 2 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms with 1 master bedroom. It's a 1-story house with a nice big garden. I would say the house is 150 square meters. The garden's about half an acre. It's wooden architecture, and it was built in 1998.
Okay.
Okay, can you describe your
Yep.
flat or house?
Yeah. My house is located into the lower Himalayan range, overlooking a cliff, and it has a beautiful view. It has 5 rooms, a storeroom, kitchen, master bedroom, and 2 other bedrooms attached to it. Um, it has a sorry, it's a 1-story house with a nice big garden. I would say the house is 150 square meter, and the garden is half an acre. It has a lot of wooden architecture put into it, and it was built in 1998.
Much better, much better. So that's a
Yeah.
clear band 8, 8.59. Okay. Just again, another important tip, and this is for everybody. We don't say in English 150 square meters. So you have to say 150 square meters. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
150 square meters. All right, Unkit, that was awesome. Thank you so much again for being the first volunteer today. That was super.
Yeah. Pleasure is all mine, sir.
All right, keep watching, Unkit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, so that was Ankit, everybody. By the way, Ankit's pronunciation was fantastic. He had that nice kind of British style accent going. All right, everyone. So let's take another volunteer. So we're going to be taking some more volunteers and giving some feedback. Students, make sure that you copy the responses that we're practicing with whoever is volunteering, and pay attention, because a lot of these mistakes that volunteers make, many other students make them as well. Okay, so. And I can see some claps for Ankit and some thumbs up. That's great. Yeah, Ankit was very brave to be the first volunteer this week. So thank you for those hearts and those claps, everybody. Yeah, definitely support each other. It takes a lot of bravery, students. It takes a lot of bravery. Okay. All right. So we've got Fatma here as well. Let's see if I can reach out to Fatma. Fatma says, I would like to volunteer. Okay, we'll get rolling here. Are you ready, Fatma? Okay, and make sure, students, to mute YouTube when we're speaking so we're not getting feedback. Use a headset if you can, everyone. Okay, let's see if I can catch Fatma. Okay, so Fatma says, yes, I am. All right. So now I'm calling Fatma. Hi, Fatma.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, Fatma, are you ready for a question?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we'll get right into it. Here we go. So, okay, Fatma, let's talk about your home. What is your favorite room?
My favorite room is my kitchen. And the reason for that, because my kitchen is facing the backyard, or it's open to my backyard. And the backyard is facing actually a big, nice park with lots of trees and tracks for walker and biker. So I have a very nice view through the window of my kitchen. This is why it is my favorite room, and I love to spend a lot of hours in the kitchen, especially in the morning. I love to have my morning coffee while I'm sitting on the kitchen table, looking at the park through the windows.
Okay, good. And you stopped, which is very good. All right. I'm just finishing up the typing here. Just give me a second. I like to have my morning coffee in my kitchen. Okay. All right. Okay, not bad. Not bad, Fatma. So I would say that that would be like a band 6.5 to 7. If you had 10 examiners, I think 5 of them might give you 6.5. 5 of them might give you 7. I actually think you're closer to a 7, but there are a couple of points that are just pushing you potentially under that 7 score. So you need to be a bit more fluent. And by fluency, I don't mean speaking necessarily faster, but being more concise. So you can think of fluency not just as speaking quickly, but also as speaking concisely, meaning that you're not repeating the same idea. If you're repeating the same idea, it's kind of like your fluency is lower. Do you get what I mean by that?
Yeah.
So you said a fair bit, and I felt like you could have said it in a much shorter way. My question was, what is your favorite room? And you said, my favorite room is my kitchen. And the reason for that is my kitchen. So even just this first part, you notice how like you're using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 words. You can simply say something like, my favorite room is my kitchen, because,
Oh.
right? And you're still expressing the same idea, but in a much more concise way. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words instead of 17 words, right? So it's same information with less than half the words. And then you continued in the same style. You said it's facing the backyard, or it's open to my backyard. It's repeating the same information. So your kitchen's facing the backyard and it's open to your backyard. Let me ask you, Fatma, do you mean like from your kitchen you can walk to your backyard?
Yes, the door of my kitchen is open to the backyard.
Okay.
The window.
All right. So yeah, so you could have said that instead of facing the backyard, but I think you realize that, right? You're like, oh, I didn't actually just mean facing, but now in the Ielts, you don't have to tell the truth. Okay, so even if you kind of made that mistake, you don't have to then awkwardly correct yourself, because then you're basically telling me that you weren't able to tell me exactly what you wanted to tell me, right? So what I would suggest is if you say something like is facing the backyard, just continue with that, right? So leave this or is open to my backyard, okay?
Oh.
So I would just take that out, okay? If you want it to be really tricky, you could say something and I can go through a door to enter my backyard, but don't get into so many details that you lose yourself and you get into awkward English. So I would just take that out. Okay, so just to prove this point, I'm going to take out the truth. Okay, so or is open to my backyard, which and then you're not repeating here either, which is facing a big park, so a very nice view. Okay, you don't need to say from my kitchen because we know you're talking about your kitchen. So I love to spend lots of hours in my kitchen. How many hours a day do you think you spend in your kitchen?
I'll say minimum would be 4 hours.
4 hours, right? Yeah.
I do almost everything in the kitchen, even if I want to just read, or right now when I'm working with you, I'm sitting in my kitchen.
Okay, perfect. So you do lots of activities in your kitchen. So I love to spend lots of hours in my kitchen, at least 4 hours a day. Especially in the morning, I like to have my morning coffee while looking out my window. Okay, so the trick here, Fatma, for you to get a higher score is number 1, don't worry about the truth. Okay, number 2, be more concise and give new information instead of repeating the same information in awkward ways. Okay, so that's what you want to focus on in your practice. All right. So here's the question: what is your favorite room? My favorite room is my kitchen because it's facing the backyard, which is next to a big park, so I have a very nice view. I love to spend lots of hours in my kitchen, at least 4 hours a day, especially in the morning. I like to have the morning coffee while looking out my window. That would be your much higher band score. Okay, so try that.
My favorite room is my kitchen, which is facing the backyard, which is facing a big, nice park, and I have a very nice view. So I love to spend lots of hours in my kitchen, at least 4 hours a day, especially in the morning. I like to have my morning coffee while looking out my window.
Okay, much better. All right, so say that a bit more fluently and you'll definitely get a band 7 to 7.5. Okay, work a little bit on that fluency. So practice. Use this chat software on our website to speak with other students so you get that fluency up. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Fatma, thank you so much for being the second volunteer. That was very brave of you. I hope you have a great rest of your day in your kitchen, doing whatever activity you're doing in your kitchen.
You're welcome, and thank you for the feedback.
Hopefully making some delicious food as well.
Oh, yeah, I am. I'm a good cook.
Okay. All right, Fatma. Have an awesome day. Thank you so much.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.
All right, so that was Fatma, everybody. Give Fatma a bit of a clap there for sure. She was very brave to give us a call while enjoying the view in her kitchen. Okay, so let me take somebody else here. Let's see who's with us here today. Okay. We've got lots and lots of people. I'm just trying to... Okay, yeah, lots and lots of volunteers in here. That's fantastic. All right, let me see. Let's see if we can get a hold of Vivek Kumar here just after Fatma. Okay, so yes, Vivek's asking, can I volunteer? Sure. Let's see if Vivek is still with us. Are you ready, Vivek? All right, let's see if Vivek is ready for a question. And make sure you have some water with you, students, when you're practicing your speaking. By the way, you can take water with you to the exam as well. You cannot have any labels on the water. You have to take the labels off if it's a water bottle. All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Vivek.
Hello.
Hi, Vivek. How are you? I can hear you. Can you hear me okay, Vivek? I think maybe you did not enable your speakers.
Hello.
Yep. So in this case, students, what you want to do is you can say
Hello.
something like, hi, Vivek. I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
You need to enable your speakers.
I have enabled it, sir. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you clearly.
Great.
Can you hear me as
I am
well?
listening, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. All right. Vivek, how are you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm doing great, sir. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good as well. Okay, Vivek, so why are you taking the IELTS exam?
I'm planning to go to Canada for my higher studies.
Okay. What do you plan to study? I think we might have lost Vivek. Are you still
I've
there?
done my graduation in civil.
Okay, now I can hear you. All right, Vivek, maybe it's a little bit something with your connection, but that's okay. Let's try a question. Are you ready for a speaking question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. Where can you easily walk to from your home?
I can easily walk to a metro station, which is about a kilometer away from my home. Because my city is connected to throughout the Perillion roads, where I can move all over the parts of the city. Example like malls and a recreation center. I've recently been to one of the mall where there is a lot of games, which made me very happy and refreshment from this work time.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Your start was a band 8. Your finish was a band 6. And in the end, it's your finish that counts. So even if you start with a band 8, but you finish with a band 6, you're going to end up with closer to a band 6 for your final mark. So the trick, Vivek, is to stay a band 8. So start a band 8, stay a band 8 from the start to finish, okay? So always focus on the question, Vivek. So where can you easily walk to from your home? That was the question. And then you started with a good answer. All right. So you said, I can easily walk to a metro station, which is about a kilometer away from my home. That was perfect. All right.
Okay, sir.
You're showing me the question. You're giving me this about a kilometer, which is excellent quantitative language. Okay. And then you started talking about your city and how it's connected through the metro lines, which was a little bit awkward. There was a little bit of English there. And then you started to say I'd recently been to a mall where there's a lot of games, but it sounded like you took the metro to get there. You have to stay on the question. So where can you easily walk to from your home? Okay, that was the question. So you said metro station. Is there any other place that you can easily walk to other than a metro station?
Yeah, park.
A park?
Yeah, and a club.
A club? Like a
Yeah.
is it like a dance club?
It's a type of club where the members have a great time by playing tennis.
So it's a tennis club.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here's your answer, okay? So I can easily walk to a metro station, which is about 1 kilometer away from my home. This is convenient for commuting around the city. Also, a park and a tennis club where I can get some exercise. I actually went to the park before coming to this exam. Okay, so that's it. So keep it simpler. Okay, simple isn't always easy,
Yes. Uh-huh.
but exercise anyway. But you want to keep it simple and you want to keep it accurate. Okay, so stay to the question. Where can you easily walk to from your home? Okay, so here's the answer, and then repeat after me. I can easily walk to a metro station, which is about 1 kilometer away from my home. This is convenient for commuting around the city. Also, a park and a tennis club where I can get some exercise. Actually, I went to the park before coming to this exam. Okay, here we go. So where can you easily walk to from your home?
I can easily walk to a metro station, which is about 1 kilometer away from my home. That is convenient for communicating around the city. Also, a park and a tennis club where I can get some exercise. I actually went to a park before coming to this exam.
So that would be like a band 8, no problem. 8.5 even. Okay, 8, I would say that would be a band 8.5, no problem. Not communicating, but commuting around the city. Okay, commuting. So
sir.
careful.
Okay, yeah.
All right, you don't actually have to be that fast. You can be a little bit slower. Okay. All right, so stay to the question. It's very easy, and a lot of people do that where they start with the question, giving the right answer, but then they kind of go off into another place, and we don't want to do that. Okay, thank you so much for volunteering, Vivek. Make sure to keep practicing, okay?
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, sir.
All right, have
Thank
an
you so
awesome
much,
rest
sir,
of your
for giving
day.
me opportunity.
You are very welcome. Have a great
Same to
day.
you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so everybody give Vivek an applause there. Vivek did a great job. Okay, so and I can see that we have lots more volunteers and we've got definitely a few more questions here as well, students. However, I'm running out of time. So what I recommend is don't give up. Don't be like, oh, Adrian's leaving, I'm leaving too. Don't do that. Stay on the website and try these last few questions with some of the other students. So just like what I did, right? Send a message, say, hey, do you want to practice these last 3 questions? Have you renovated any part of your home? You know what? I'll even take these questions and I'll copy these into the chat so you can see them there. I'll do all 3 of them at once like that. And then you know what? I'll even do them one by one. So I'm taking these questions, I'm just copying them into the chat so you guys can practice these on your own with some of your peers, okay, on the website. I highly recommend doing that. Students, if you liked this practice with me and you feel like you want to do a full IELTS speaking interview with feedback, some marks, of course you can videotape it for your studies, then you can book a full IELTS speaking interview practice with me on the websites by clicking this yellow speaking interview practice button that's just above my head there, okay? And again, remember to sign up for our premium IELTS package on the website. That will absolutely help you with tons and tons of content. We're world leaders when it comes to getting students the highest marks on their IELTS test. So make sure to visit us at aehelp.com. Click those big red buttons. Join our premium package for general IELTS. It's gieltshelp.com, and get our apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help from your app stores. Students, that's all the time I have for today. But worry not, I will be back again tomorrow with more IELTS lessons. Be sure to subscribe to our channel so you know the times of our lessons. Thank you so much, Carolina, for moderating the chat. Thank you, Mien. Thank you, Baljeet, Andri. Thank you, members. Everybody have a lovely rest of your day. Much love. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria for now. See you tomorrow. Bye.